Hey, it's your girl Mooney 69 Ways, and I'm here for the Real Housewives of Atlanta season finale review. If you are new here, make sure you are subscribed and hit the like button for me. I would greatly appreciate it. Um, let's get into this real. This season finale wasn't all that great to me. It's like it was missing something. It was like a special ingredient it was missing, so it can end up with a bang, end with a bang. But the bang felt kind of flat for me. Um, yeah. So let's get into it. I'm not going scene by scene. I'm just going to some major this highlights review, okay? But do check out the panel that I am gonna be a part of. With some ladies, we're gonna talk about it probably scene by scene, more detailed, okay? So let's see if I can add this to the stage. Oh, why it looks so small? Okay, so I'm gonna do it this way. Okay, so the episode started off with Lauren and Porsha going to see Phaedra, and we know they lost their cousin Lundy. Um, which was sad because when that news first broke out, I ain't gonna lie, I got teary eyed because I like her and Portia's spinoff show, Porsha Family Never Matters. Her and that auntie from Porsha Daddy side, I like them because they kept it real. But yeah, so at Lundy House, and I was like shocked and like, yo, that Lauren was on the phone as she was transitioning. Like what? Wow, that's got to be heartbreaking and hearing that, her take her last breath. Child, I'd be on the floor somewhere tore up. But they went to Phaedra house because Phaedra is in the funeral business, and she got her funeral bob on, as she would say, her professional bob. So they went by her house, eat some food and talk about Lundy and her transition. I guess just some little details. I don't know if it's just for a scene or just they actually legit using Phaedra, but who knows? They could have because Phaedra got the funeral connections. But yeah, so um, Portia, her asking questions about some butterflies, the return to the owner. I just like get me out this scene, okay? I'd rather hear Lauren talk, okay? Not Portia, but yeah, she would just say how Portia share about how Lundy was as a person, as a beautiful soul, and how she's there for you, show up for you. I mean, we saw this. Like we will see Lundy in the background. Okay, if you really pay attention, we see Lundy in the background, even this season. We see Lundy in the background, more than one occasion. So she was always there to support Portia. Um, yeah, so she's very sweet. She seemed like she's sweet and nice, even though Portia Family Never Matters. So, yeah. So, R.I.P. to Lundy. Next up, I love this. I love this singer Angela. This is like Angela going to see a therapist. I think that Dr. Wendy. I think that's the therapist's name. Um, Therapist Wendy. I'm glad to see a different therapist than what we usually see in the Atlanta streets on these different shows across the board. Like it be the same old therapist. You know what I'm saying? If you know, you know. Um, so it was good to see a different therapist, but she had to be honest with her therapist. Did some breathing exercise, and she let the therapist know that she's still stressed out because the property she had like 5 properties that she was having a hard time selling, and they got into debt, and she said Charles is tired of putting money into the properties, and he said he's not gonna put any more money into the properties, because you got to keep the upkeep. And then she was doing some renovations on it, I guess, trying to make it more sellable. But yeah, so it's some debt, lost some money, and yeah, and she said it's put a strain on their marriage. So she was dealing with that, and yeah, kudos to Charles for not putting no more money into those real estate homes. So and she just said, like, even Charles, when she purchased the home, Charles told her not to do it. She did anyway. She said she trusts Charles. She said she just gonna listen to him, I guess, for now on. I guess um when it comes to, I guess, business stuff, or just period. Like, she gonna listen and she trusts him, basically. And she tells the therapist about what went down at Speaker Box Kelly's event at the Willinoma, with her and Charles having the cook off or whatever. And that messy gay came in, Marcus, talking about making the toast, talking about cheers if you not Angela, who husband cheats on her or something like that. Just being a messy punk. Yeah, messy punk. Okay. But yeah. I know I didn't like that, but she was telling the therapist, and I chuckled a little bit when the therapist said, "Oh, that's grimy." I'm like, I ain't never heard a therapist say that, let alone a white one. But yeah, I was like, did the therapist say that, or did Angela say that? I have to rewind it back. I was like, oh no. But yeah, so that's what she tell her. And then therapist actually like, what she gonna do? And Angela said she gonna stand on business. He said she gonna be like, I'm not the one to be messed with. Okay. Um, she just want to clear Charles' name, and she gonna put her foot down, and she ain't the one to be messed with, so she gonna handle it. So like, okay. But it's just good to see that Angela being as transparent and being open about all her businesses, like, because these properties going to foreclosure or whatever, she's losing them, and she's been honest about it. Because some of these housewives will try to hide in front, fraud and about what they really got going on behind the scenes. Okay, but it seemed like Angela being forthcoming, and she said put a straight on her marriage. Okay, and now this guy, this messy gay, coming out of nowhere, approaching her and talking about some Charles was at his restaurant, at a restaurant, something he worked. Child, that's a headache in itself, especially over their weekend with all this social media stuff about it. It just get on my nerves. It just ruined the show for me. But moving on. Um, so Shamia has her showcase uh her music that she worked on with RL and another producer. And yeah, so she put on this whole showcase and invite some of her family and friends over to this venue. Um she did a pretty good job. I know Drew was shading the hell out of her, and I ain't mad at Drew for doing so, because I ain't mad at Drew for shading Shamia about, because Shamia did hit a note. I guess it was like a warm up or something, and it was flat. Okay, so, and Shamia knew it was flat. So Drew is there to get her critiques. And she's like the resident singer. Then they show her flashback to that tired ass song she was singing to Ralph last reunion, which was in 2023. Okay. Because Shamia was shading the mess out of her for no reason at all. Like, she was doing it and no reason at all, because Drew did nothing to her. It was like because this is when she was taking on Porsha beef. Okay, so anyway, so she put on the showcase. She had changing outfits. I was like, she had choreography, dancers and stuff. It was a whole production. Okay, with her coins, her husband coins. Okay, so she got the coins to do it. Okay, but it's like, I don't know. From what I heard, some songs was okay. I'm like, is you gonna get the routine down, the dance routine, or you gonna sing? Because if you're gonna dance and hold a mic, you should do one of those headset mics if you can. That's my opinion. But um I guess she just want to show a whole package. Maybe with some music exec there, or some people were there who probably want to invest in her as an artist. I don't know, but right now I think she's doing the solo. So I don't know. RL was there as well. I think he was on the song or singing with her. I mean, he did produce and write some of this music, and they kept panning the camera to RL. I'm like, okay, we get it. He's there. He's there. He's there, and the girls are in the crowd cheering her on and stuff like that. So she was dancing for Jura. Her husband was there. Finally made an in-person appearance. He better make an appearance since he probably paid for the. He saw that bill, how much everything costs. But so it was cute. It was cute. It was cute. For Shamia, some outfits hit, some did not hit for me. But then again, this is a performance. Okay. Yeah. So after Shamia performed, this is the same night after she greet the ladies, and then she pulled Britt to the side. Mind you, we get a flashback because Cynthia did came, but she had to go because she had to go leave, catch her flight from New York. So she did make an appearance, show her face, went to go see Shamia. She was getting in the back, getting ready, and she told Shamia about what Britt shared about showing text messages to her about her and Porsha relationship and stuff like that. She confronted her about it, and Britt like, yeah, you did show us, like, and then she like, about what did I say? Like, well, what was said? That how she wasn't a good friend and stuff. It was just a vague statement, and mm-mm. I can't trust now one of these heifers. To be honest, I think both of them lied to a certain degree. I think Britt lied about the timeline of these said text messages. I can believe Shamia was showing text messages. She probably wasn't showing to her per se. She could be showing it to Kelly, and you so happened to be there. But yeah, nevertheless, she was just showing it. And then it did show a flashback like a day before they was hanging out. A day before Shamia and Porsha sit down talk. So it's like this happened before. This not happen after, because Porsha did ask, did it happen after we had a talk? When I thought we was cool, we squared things away. Cause you came to her like it happened after, and she continued to do so. Okay, so yeah, but I think that's what Britt lied about, and it's crazy to me that you would bring that up, Porsha, at the time when you the same one with the hugging, and when you heard about her daughter and stuff, and talking about I love you, because she was down from here about how her daughter was being treated by the nanny. And while y'all was in Grenada, I love you, talking about let's take a shot, and you got naked. And then that's what Shamia did bring that up about her taking shots and getting naked, butt naked. And she said, yeah, I did. And yeah, it's just hard to hear Brit fake ass hug her, want to be there for her, how she love you. This is a sisterhood. They be saying all these trigger words, popular words, buzzwords to get a scene, and then do a whole thing a next scene, because the next scene was you had brought Porsha over to your house, her Porsha and Cynthia, and you want to share that Shamia showed text messages, but that seemed like it was before the sit down. And yeah, so I think you were just hurt and jealous by Shamia and Kelly closeness, and they just not seeing what it is, which get on my nerves. And then Shamia bringing up the whole pill popping and stuff like that. I don't know. I mean, Shamia is not the only one said that about some pills, but I'll put none past Brit about pill popping. Okay, it won't surprise me because she has this up and down with her whole personality. So it wouldn't surprise me if she was popping a pill or two to get the edge off. I don't know what kind of pills, so hey, I don't know. Um, Maybe something to relax, okay? Because being in that kind of film environment probably is stressful for her, and this is her first season. But yeah, so she brought up Shamia kid, like, was your kid even sick? Because you went to Miami up there taking shots. I guess this is the part where Shamia was saying in interviews that she brought up or talked about her daughter or something. She was more talking about the parenting in my part, in my opinion. But nonetheless, you should never borrow her child. Though you trying to question the validity of if her child was really sick at that time or going through something, okay? And Shamia got a whole team at home, okay? It wasn't. She was just concerned. She was a concerned parent, even though the baby could have nicked the toe, whatever. You still gonna be concerned, okay? It's kind of hard to talk to someone who don't have kids like that. So it's like, girl, no. Either way, they was wrong, 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 wrong. Okay, and both are liars. Shamia, you showed the text message. Britt, you know damn well them text messages was shown probably before Porsha and Shamia said that. Okay, so yeah, that was that, and yeah, but Shamia better than me because Britt questioning the validity of my child was sick while I was in Grenada. What you want me to do? How tell it out? She had a whole team. Okay, she got family at home. Okay, she said it was just an incident. She said the baby was on the deathbed, but the baby gonna always be sick. It seems like because unless she can, hopefully she can grow out some of those ailments, So yeah, but I would put hand and feet on that Brit ass. That bod will be on the floor. Anyway, so this is the scene of all scenes. Um, this is Charles Oakley of gala because they was raising 50K. Because uh they feed the home, not the, I don't know this, the feed the less fortunate. Okay, feed the less fortunate. They're trying to feed so many people for the year, so 50K is a goal. I think they well over double it, but by a little. They double it plus more. So yeah, they presented some awards. I think Meals on Wheels was one. Then they presented an award for Porsha and Lundy. Um, Porsha getting an award kind of fell out of place, but I don't know Porsha. But I don't. If Porsha do some give back philanthropy work, she don't push it on her social media because her grandfather do have a foundation. Hosea Williams do have a foundation. They do give back food pantry or whatever. She don't put it on social media, so I don't know, but she do have that tie to the community or whatever, to the give back part of it. So I can see Lundy getting the award. I can see her receiving the award on Lundy to have, but for Porsha and Lundy, I guess. But it was just, I guess, for a scene. Sure it'll make it. And yeah, so Porsha looked nice. Everybody, the ladies was dressed. Some look better than others. Okay, some of them should never even stepped out the house. Okay, I'm just saying. But yeah, so this is after the gala event happened. They still lean around the ladies. So this is the after party. They gather around, sit, and Angela, kicked it off about the rumor about Charles cheating, seen at the restaurant or whatever, and she brought up the guy who approached her at Kelly's event, and she thought it was Kelly. She was questioning like, "Dang, Kelly invite this guy," but Kelly did share that it was open to the public, so anybody could came. But for me, she thought it was Britt at one point because her and Britt they had to go back and forth because I remember Britt said, "What about that baby though?" And Kelly Cole said, "What about that baby though?" Yeah, so yeah, it wouldn't be surprising me it was Britt, but she did point it to Phaedra because Phaedra did after the event, Kelly event, did call her and share with her that the guy name, she do remember the guy from somewhere, and gave her the name, his full name, and where he worked or whatever, all his info. So I guess she'll get that info for Porsha. I mean, from Phaedra, kicked off for her doing deep investigation or getting his information to get in contact with him some way somehow, because they did show a scene that I wish they would have showed. They did a flashback scene of her sit down with Marcus, her and Drew, because Drew is like her sidekick on this thing. She was like her backup. Okay, so that's Drew role. So yeah, so after that, man, I just wish she gave her husband a heads up, because Drew would, I guess, text the guy like, okay, it's time for you to come in, like in action. Okay, the zoo come in. Marcus, the messy gay, come in, and then Charles like, wait, hold up, bro, hold up, what you doing here? You gonna get your ass out, even though the event is over. But the event is not over, if you know my drift. The messiness begins. Okay, so he came in. Charles was like cussing him out. I'm glad Madison Square Garden 2017 Charles didn't come out, but he said, you lucky, because actually, like, trust me, like, I don't trust you. It just looked like they not on the same page, but I did wish she would have gave him a heads up, so that would be nice. And yeah, so he came in, sat down, he said it was Phaedra, the Godfather of Atlanta. It was, and somebody named Junebug. He got it by way of Junebug. It's given like this messy gay is a scammer, a delulu. He want his 5-10 minutes of fame, and he out. He pissed. This kind of like pissed me off a little bit, because it's like you plan with this lady marriage, and Phaedra have her face screwed up every which way. So I put nothing past Phaedra. Phaedra got a track record, but I do not put nothing past Britt. Okay, Britt, because yeah, I don't know why they target Angela. Angela been transparent and stuff like that. So I just wish, like, part of me wish she didn't give this man the time of day. Okay, they give this man the time of day. Okay, but I know she was trying to bring him in to say what he told her and Drew in the private meeting they had, meetup they had, so in front of the ladies, so they can like put this rumor to rest. Like it was set up like it's not true, because according to her, she said Charles at that time was not in town. He was coaching the big three, so he was out of town. Just said they supposedly Charles was at a restaurant with another woman, but nonetheless, yeah. So that was pretty much it. Oh yeah, but Frederick, like, she had nothing to do with it. Porsha think that Angela set it up herself. I don't think so. Like I said, is if he, for me, this is just for me. He could not do it on his own, even though Kelly event was public. How did he know Angela was shooting that day? It was only 3 housewives there besides Kelly. It was Phaedra, Drew, Angela. How do you know which housewife is shooting that in that day? They could say it was open to the public, but we're gonna be shooting for Real Housewives of Atlanta, whatever. But how you know which cast member will be in attendance? That's the kicker for me. Like, how would this punk know that Angela was gonna be there? Maybe Kelly had it could be any one of these ladies, assistants, makeup artists, whatever, probably know him or whatever. Or I don't know how it was advertised for Kelly event, which he was like Kelly versus Charles Oakley in a cook-off at Willanoma's. Like, I need to know, so it's like some misinformation, but like, how he know that they shooting? I know it's open to the public, but dang, y'all must have been advertising the hell out of it. Or one of y'all peoples gave this man a heads up. Or he knows somebody who knows somebody and he want to be messy. Okay. So, yeah, I heard a recording. I saw some messages after the fact. It's like, child, this dude want to get sued. And you got a record, a SO record. Like, stop. So, yeah. I was over the scene when he gets to the June bug and the Godfather Atlanta part, but yeah. So let's get to what's her name? Kelly. So after 3 years, Kelly finally closed the doors on her marriage in September 2024. She is preparing to open a new door, Sandy Springs, and the Chicken and Waffles location sometime in spring or summer 2025. She'll be double checking the guest list for for the grand opening. How cute. Britt is using her clean slate to open a new insurance agency. How she gonna open an insurance agency and she don't have? Never mind. She's also working hard to release Bare Naked, so the Masters Kiss Snatch just like hers. Anybody know that did it come out yet? Drew album I Did It To Me was released in March 2025. While her music career is on the high, her relationship with Ralph is still on the low as he continues to reside in the basement apartment in the sky with an end to the divorce nowhere in sight. Child, you gonna make it hard for her. Oof. Okay, Shamia. While Baby Shiloh continues to make progress, Shamia has a new surrogate host to welcome new baby boy soon. Her single Never Had was released March 25. She hopes the listeners don't talk over it this time. So she did release a video. It was interesting nonetheless. But yeah, she how you gonna welcome a baby boy soon when you try to do your music? It's just y'all busy. It's just wild. But hey, you got the money. Phaedra is booked and busy and adding more jobs to her resume until her boys retire her. Meanwhile, her chocolate prince, Chi Chi, is still satisfying her sweet tooth. Whatever. Um, Angela sold three. So this is Angela. Angela sold three of her houses, but two have unfortunately been lost. However, she is staying cool under the pressure with her next business venture. Benji, a line of fans know her when she and Charles will renew their vows. So I remember at the beginning of the season they was that goal, but you know she had all these houses to get rid of. Simon was detained while entering the country, February 2025, leaving the divorce on ice. Yes. That thing right there, child. A hot mess, for real. Cause they did a 5 months later on Porsha ass. And I'm like, really? 5 months later, so we can see her taping in that $7 million home. And she made good. I mean, she won a divorce settlement, but will he be able to pay by being in another country? I mean, she made good. She did it good this time versus when she was with Cordell, but yeah, she's able to stay in the house for 36 months without paying a bill. But I don't know how that works when he's in a different country. Can they make him pay her 40,000 a month for like 15 months? He had to do that, pay her alimony. So yeah, I don't know. I don't know. But yeah, that was the end of the season. Okay. So let me know your thoughts on this whole finale and the whole Marcus, Angela, Phaedra of it all, the whole not Porsha, Phaedra, Marcus, or do you think it's Britt, who is trying to tear down Angela marriage to Charles? Yeah, but yeah, let me know your thoughts. So yeah, so if you made it this far, make sure you are subscribed, hit the like button, and check me out on the panel when I do the panel with the ladies. We're gonna talk about it. All right. And I will see y'all for the 3-part reunion, which should have been a 2-parter, okay? That was the finale, y'all. So let me know your thoughts. Bye.